When you talk about data warehousing, the goal is usually to create an enterprise data warehouse, which we'll represent over here as the EDW. Your EDW is generally where you would connect your analytical tool, perhaps that's ClickView, Power BI, Tableau. But in order to create the EDW, you have to generally first create what we call an ODS, or an operational data store. And just as the name sounds, it is a data store for operational data. So you might wonder, well, really, what is the difference between an ODS and the EDW? The EDW generally is based on the Kimball dimensional model, which takes all of your data and puts it into generally two categories: your fact and dimension tables. Your fact tables, so we'll put fact, which is generally in the center, and then off of that, dimension tables. So your dimensions are essentially the decoration for your fact, or provides more context to your fact. So if you have a sale, well, you're going to have a product or something that was sold. The product is a dimension which has many, many attributes about what that product is. The fact table would have an event that says this product was sold and one copy on this date to this customer. So you can kind of see the dimensions evolving from that fact. One dimension is customer, another product, another date. The ODS, on the other hand, is nothing more than an accumulation of all of the supporting tables that are required in order to build this dimensional model, made famous by Ralph Kimball, which is a conformed view of your operational data, which may come from many systems, but it's conformed around the true product that maybe could exist in a couple of different systems, and you could have some variations on these products, or the true customer, which again, you may have different sources of truth on who a customer is coming from different operational systems. The ODS, which is, as I mentioned, accumulation from many operational systems, your ERP, your CRM, etc., will by nature of the ODS have thousands of tables. On the other hand, your EDW is going to condense what is most meaningful within those operational systems, conform it where necessary, so an apple is an apple is an apple, and represent that in this Kimball dimensional model. A couple of interesting things in looking at the ODS and the EDW. The ODS is generally a product of replication, moving data from generally several operational systems into a common platform. Your EDW is probably going to have maybe a couple of dozen tables. So you can see that, first of all, there is a lot of modeling work that is required to take raw tables that have accumulated in your ODS and model them in a fashion that makes sense based upon your business and faithfully represents the business rules, and perhaps implements some kind of master data so you know that you have a single source of truth. So a couple of takeaways between ODS and EDW. You may have data scientists within your organization who just need the raw data and they need it now. And you probably have other consumers, business users within your organization who don't really understand the intricacies of operational data, but do understand the conformed data of customers and products and budgets and forecasts, etc. So one takeaway is the ODS is going to have lots of data, but you need some inside knowledge of those systems. If you ever looked at SAP tables, you need some help in understanding them all, but it's true of any large operational system. Whereas the EDW, it's modeled. They've replaced a lot of acronyms with friendly names, and they implemented business rules, so you don't have to really understand the minutia of how the data is encapsulated within your operational data store. There is a time lag, and that's an important difference. You can set up an ODS via replication, usually in a month or so, but your EDW, based on the modeling required to create this dimensional model, is going to take probably several months. And so people who are interested in accessing the data today, right now, the ODS is a great place to go. And of course the ODS would be the source for then creating your EDW, your dimensional model, so that you can then easily plug in the very good analytical tools available today, such as Power BI, Tableau, ClickView.